welcome to my channel. This is Prince Ugifle, and we are on Igbo Made Easy. In our class today, in our class science we'll be learning about personal pronouns. And the Igbo personal pronouns, which we also know as Nnochi Aha. That's why I call it names of persons in Igbo. It is actually translated literally to mean name replacements. Nnochi Aha, name replacement. And yes, that's what the English calls pronouns, the word you use instead of a noun. So let's get to business. In the Igbo pronouns, we have 11 of them. What I'm going to do in this class is just basic introduction of these pronouns, because some of them are quite technical and they have rules on how to use them and how to go about them, which we cannot cover all in one class. So I'm going to introduce the different categories. We have them in 6 categories: singular, plural, first person, second person, third person singular, first person, second person, third person plural. And they have been divided into the subjective and objective case. As we have it in English, we also have it that way in Igbo. And what I'm going to do today is just introduce the pronouns to you. You can go learn and get familiar with this. Then when we come back, we'll take them one by one, have more examples, talk about the rules guiding the use of them, and make sentences and examples with them so you learn. And if you have questions, you are free to send your questions, leave your questions in the comment. So let's begin with first person singular. We have is I. You say nabia, I am coming. Then we have mo is me. Guamo, tell me. And mo can also be used as think of I am, and the abbreviated form of I am. So mo can be abbreviated to just be a single M, still making the sound. And instead of having guamo, you will have guam. We're going to cover all this in details when we start talking about first person singular personal pronoun. Now the second person singular personal pronoun, you have I and E. I as in the E, the sound of I in English, I, and I as in you have the sound of ink, I. So this is I and this is I, and they both refer to you, the subjective form. Now when you come to the objective case of you, unlike English where everything is you, in Igbo, you becomes gi when it is objective. Nnagwagi, I am telling you. Ngakogi ihe, I will beat you. So that is it for second person singular. You have I and you have I and you have gi. Now in the third person, the same thing also happens as we saw in the second person singular. You have O and you have O. O as in orange and O as in God. So these two cover for he, she, it. That is the subjective form of the third person singular. Now when you come to the objective form of the third person singular, one word covers it, and that is ya. And it stands for him, her, it. Now, the Igbo pronouns are not gender specific. I have to point that out at this point. They are not gender specific. They are not particular to living or inanimate things. Whether you're talking about a house, or you're talking about a human being, or you're talking about an animal, you use the same things. Whether you're talking about living or the dead, you use the same pronouns referring to them. If you happen to be talking to them, you use the second person pronouns to talk to them. And that is it for the singular form of the Igbo pronouns. Now go over to the plural form of the Igbo pronouns. And here in the plural form, we have Anyị for we. Anyị for we. And Anyị also covers for us. That is whether it is subjective or objective. Once it's first person plural, you use Anyị. And that is about it for first person plural. And the second person plural is Unu. Unu, U-N-U, Unu. And Unu is you, plural, whether objective or subjective. When I'm talking to uno, I'm talking to you, plural. When I'm talking about Anyị, I'm talking about us, we, plural. So that is it. We're going to look at these things in details and give more examples, but I'm just introducing them to you as briefly as possible. Now we have ha. Ha is third person plural, and just as the others, as the rest of them, it does the same thing, whether subjective or objective. Whether you're talking about they or you're talking about them, it uses the same ha. Ha. Waha, tell them. Hanabia, they are coming. As you would have noticed, in the second person and the third person, you have the O and O, E and E. And like I said earlier, they are both one and the same thing. It's just O, but they have different sounds. And that is because the Igbo vowels are divided into two categories. You have the light sounds and the heavy sounds. Now the O and the E are heavy sounds, while the E and the O are the light sounds. Every language, as you know, has its own technicalities. Like in Spanish, you'll be mindful of gender words, even adjectives have to be gender. Pronouns follow a gender rule. When you're talking about a female, you use a female gender. When you're talking about masculine, you're using masculine words. There are some words, beauty, abstract words that are categorized into feminine and masculine category, and you have to know them, because when you're using verbs and every other thing to talk about them, they have to agree, with the gender. They have to agree with the gender. So Igbo doesn't have that strict gender division or classification of words. What we have is the highest complication you can ever face in learning the Igbo language is getting familiar with this heavy and light sound. So the heavy sound O and the light sound O, and the heavy sound E and the light sound E. Then, as you would have noticed, in Mu, there's a dot underneath it. You see Mu, the O is a light sound, while the U here is a heavy sound. But not to worry about all of this. As we learn the Igbo, as we progress, you get a hang of it. So if you have any question from this presentation, you let me know. Remember, we just introduced briefly Nnochi Aha, name replacements, or what you call names of persons in Igbo, when you're talking about the 6 persons we have in the English pronouns. First person, second person, third person. Sorry, the 3 persons we have, and there are 2 forms, singular and plural, and also their other form being subjective and objective. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, in our next videos, we'll be looking at the first person, both singular and plural, in the subjective and objective case. I hope this video is helping you out a lot. We've made a video of 250 words and phrases in Igbo. 250 Igbo words and phrases. So you can go through them. It's not enough to go through them once, but you use them, you go through them over and over again, at least once a day. The more you practice, the easier it gets. If you could just get yourself at the beginning, don't have the goal to hear and understand and maybe begin to reproduce the sounds yet. Just play the video, the 1-hour video. Play it and just get familiar with the sound of Igbo. Get familiar with what Igbo sounds like. You see, just get familiar with the sound. Over time, as you begin to play, you begin to pick words, you begin to pick out words, then you begin to try to learn and begin to say. If you could learn, master, and say comfortably those 250 expressions, and they are basic and they are very useful for first time encounters, when you're going home for the first time and when you're meeting somebody for the first time, you're trying to introduce yourself, you're trying to talk about things that you talk about in the first encounter. So we've made that video especially for you. I'm making more like that, but I hope you really take advantage of that video. If you have any question, video request, we'll be glad to respond to you. So till next time we meet again, my name is Prince Obiefle, and this is Igbo Made Easy. Cody. Bye.